Greetings everyone, here's Lodrik and this is the game War in the Pacific Admiral's Edition. This is my play-by-email match against KilRoy. This is scenario 1 with no modification and 1 day turn setup. So we arrive at the 21st of March 1942. I was able to finish operations in the Dutch East Indies, Sumatra, everything already fall. I am struggling a little with Fiji, and at the same time KilRoy is pushing at Wake and Marcus Island, so let's see how this battle will continue. And at first I must get rid of here, I think this is a British submarine. 2 small hits. This is of course not enough to really get rid of it. And here I miss source of Marcus Island. Where is this? Ah, here. There are many task forces. There was a AO. I think to, of course, refuel KilRoy's ships and only 2 torpedoes is in the middle. 2 less investment maybe for this strike. AOs I think are really important for fleet operations, and the Allies also don't have unlimited numbers, at least not in 42. Good that this submarine commander is eager enough, and now he tried with 4 torpedoes and get 1 hit and heavy fires. So far out of any base will sink the ship, and here is, and this was just now a sinking sound of my patrol boat, so I'm not sure if this was now the AO go down or my patrol boat, but at least the AO is heavily damaged. Good. More cleanup operations. And I only try to escape with my battle cruisers from Marcus Island, from Wake Island. Because KilRoy, his carriers was at Marcus Island, and I had my battle cruisers running back to Truk, source west, and hope that I not encounter anything on the way out. I also can find here a cargo ship loaded with fuel, is burning, so that is also gone. Marcus Island. So there are still scout airplanes in Suva detecting my task forces. Luckily KilRoy have no carriers or heavy strike forces in the Fiji Islands. Good. First I come here out of Batavia, I think, support here this ground attacks, shipping away some of this British soldiers. The Hudsons are back and I have no airbase so far, so I let them simply bomb my troops and ignore it. Again, some Russian Chinese bombers trying the same and achieving maybe some morale and fatigue damage on my troops. Important is I have no detection on my task forces running back. So if there's no detection, no. This was only a patrol boat. And weather is stopping my bombers, so only 6 finding the target. And these are destroyers, hard to hit. No. This is southwest of Wake Island, and yeah, not possible to hit. No, still some zeros for ground attack, but it's a small support strike. But still, I can kill here some British units on the ground. And yeah, similar in China. Clean up, support the ground forces, train my pilots at the same time, and always keep an eye on the supply situation. And here are some areas. I normally use them only for training duty, similar to the Key 30. They have only shorter range, so it makes no sense to really produce any Key 32 if you have 30. The Key 30 is still better, but they're all light bombers, and I only produce them so long I don't have a Helen. Once the Helen go online, I will always switch everything to Helen, and later on to Key 67. So American submarine, find my patrol boat, but miss. And I find additional cargo ship with fuel in Marcos Island. So KilRoy have still problems to really handle my submarines. So I can at least hurt him a little. And now I arrive at Pegu, using heavy units to suppress any defense. But there's only a base force, so only light casualties on the landing. Yeah, single Chinese corps surrendered. Was not one. Also the Dutch forces out of Medan, falling back. And this is KilRoy's attack on Marcos Island. I make only some bombardment attack, but I have no attack value left. All my forces are disabled. And now he simply... Oh no! Yeah, he destroyed my force. So Marcos Island is now under American control. It's the first base, was originally Japanese, and I fight for and fall to the evil Americans. Now I must maybe create a new task force and battle plan and strategy to counter this kind of threat. Because with Marcos Island, Wake Island under control, KilRoy is of course always able to maybe pressure my presence in the Central Pacific, and it will getting more troublesome for me in the future if how I want to supply my forces in the source in the long run. Good, some air losses, not really. For me it is only a scout plan. Ops losses. Ship sunk. My submarines was able to sink 2 or 3 cargo ships. I lost on my own patrol boat. Well, I built them, or they're supposed to die for scouting and patrol duty, so it's really okay. China, it is coming now Hello, I mean, have you only one, two? Normally, these are really the two last forces behind the line I have to clean up, and maybe Yan'an is something that I can focus and say where's the front line. I have here still some forces here in the north, but this is Mongolia, there's not much. Then I have here the front line to enter Sichuan, and then we have here the central area, and of course there's still this southern China area I have to liberate. Bring peace, justice, and order. And now first I was focus or trying to bring in some strike force to handle Rangoon. Not only Rangoon but all of Burma, better to say. And in this case I simply choose Pegul for my landing operations before I had some... I saw that KilRoy only had a light base force here before, so I choose to land here directly and then rush in Rangoon and maybe try to simply by speed to surprise him. We will see. Additional landing forces coming here. This is only my amphibious assault landing group for they are based more or less on Navy Guard units plus some tanks. The heavy infantry stuff is first coming in 2-3 days. Good. I'm driving up the forces from the rest of the Dutch units north to Sepang. I'm still trying also to come out of the swamp. Yeah, you can see 5 to 6 miles per day. This is all what I can get. I use 2 Navy Guard units to clean up all of the bases, and then sooner or later I must also take care of the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bases with no presence normally. And maybe at the same time I can try to create a new task force battle group for my strike on Darwin. Once I have Darwin secured with Port Moresby in Surabaya, there is normally no way that he has any presence in the near future. Maybe submarines, but nothing else. Good. I'm building up here my additional bases. I'm building up everything what is possible with the speed I have and with the engineers I have. And of course I don't have enough engineers and I don't have enough supplies, and everything is a little low, but I try to feed where I can feed. So I walk here now on Suva, and maybe 2 days I can... Next turn I will arrive, and one more turn I can attack, and hopefully then Suva will simply fall. I don't know how much more is here, but I don't expect too much. Once this is done, I can maybe carry the rest 300 attack value. And then the Fiji's operation is over, but simply only a little too slow. This one's click mistake cost me at least 3 days, maybe more. Marshall Islands is still okay. So my patrol boat, this was this encounter with this American submarine. I still have here high heavy sub presence, and I was able to sink 2 cargo ships, I think, here. Yeah. I also can find here some destroyers. These are the destroyers running east. My Nell bombers was able to attack them, but yeah, I create no hit. I don't know if these pilots are not so well trained. Yeah, they are okay, but nothing perfectly at 7. It's still not possible to feed everyone everywhere. Yeah. The next problem is again that Saipan is out of action, and I have here simply not much supply, so I can try to repair. Once the repair is done, I maybe can think about this to bring in base forces and additional forces to secure Saipan, but I don't know who's faster. I can bring something to Saipan, or KilRoy will strike first. And he took already Marcus Island, and I have simply really nothing to come close to his carriers. So long there are carriers, I cannot operate from nearby. I can only operate if I have fighter cover. So I focus everything to increase Shishijima. And then I hope that this will be a base close enough from Tokyo that he cannot attack me directly. And from this base, I can maybe then create sooner or later a task force to retake Marcus Island and Pegan. Once these two islands are under Japanese control, I have more space to operate. So my battle cruisers are, I think, back. Oh? Ah, no, I was worried that KilRoy tried to intercept me here. So on the half on the way, so I choose to go more southwest. And then I can now come from this direction. Because now I would see him coming from my truck base, hopefully. So I can try to come back in 2 or 3 turns to truck, rearm, refuel, fix the damage from my collision. And of course I lost 2 of my fleet destroyers, so I'm a little weaker now, but still reckless will not give me anything. So maybe the allies, they can be reckless and they can throw stuff on islands and lose them and say, okay, I fight another day, I get more. But with the Japanese, I really cannot do this. Once I'm really losing too much equipment in too short time, it will be very critical for me. And my carriers are in Fiji too far away to really help me out. And I need to make sure that this operation is done before I really go back. If I run back too early, I mean, I already sent them back to refuel and rearm on truck and meet up with my battle cruisers. Then I have maybe a task force it's strong enough to take on KilRoy's carriers. But again, I also have the issue that I don't have here too much attack. I have Kara, Shakaku, Suikaku, and Ruyo. So this is just barely enough to match the American carriers. KilRoy have still all 4 fleet carriers. And I think he already gets a better airplane, so he have 4F4, so the 0 is maybe still better, but not much better. Good. Thank you all. See you next time. Take care. Bye bye.